everybody. Welcome to Amy's Inspiration Station on the Altenew YouTube and Facebook channel. We have Han behind the badge today, so please give a shout out to the fabulous Han who is behind there. And I just wanted to say thank you all for tuning in today on this fabulous Monday afternoon, at least where I am. And it's so nice to see you here. I got Melly, who is evening for you all the way in Italy, and Anne and Shiomara and Alicia and Karen, and I'm so excited for you guys to be here. Hey, Erica and Cheryl, and I'm so excited, Erica, that you shared this already. So please share this live while we're live, and you will be entered to win a gift card to Altenew, and Han will be staying behind after I shut off the live, and she will let you know who is that lucky winner. And hey, Cece, it's so nice to see you. And Tina, and hi, Helen, and Nancy, and Brandon. Yes, afternoon. Yes, I hope you guys are doing well. I am talking texture today. I don't know. I just kind of sat down. I was thinking about what to do for this. And I'm like, I haven't really done kind of embossing powder in a while. So I'm going to be talking embossing. And I'm looking at creating texture, and we're looking at texture with embossing powders. We're looking at texture with embossing paste, and we're looking at texture with embossing folders. And so that is where we are. So hi, Hoof Hollow. So nice to have you here from Arkansas, and Peggy. And yet again, if you share this live while we're live, you'll be entered to win a $15 gift card to Altenew. So thank you guys for sharing while we are live. All right, I'm going to go ahead. I got, again, as usual, too many things on the list to work with. So I'm going to go ahead and get right down to my craft desk. And so you see here, this is not a super typical card for me. I'm kind of a neat and clean person, and I just wanted to put this on here with all of this texture. There's a lot going on in this card. And I'm highlighting today this new stamp set. I just was perusing the Altenew website, I don't know, a couple of weeks ago. And I'm like, I really, for some reason, I saw this Mini Delight. I'm in love with Mini Delights. And I somehow missed this one, which is One in a Melon. And it is really adorable. It has a little punny saying that says, "You're one in a melon." And it comes with these 3 separate stamps that can create this really cute little watermelon. And my watermelon on here is actually all heat embossing. So I'm going to talk about how I got that. And this here, which is a lot of texture going on, this is all from heat embossing. And then we also have up here a little bit of embossing folder. So I'm going to talk about this. We're going to make this card. And then if I have time, I have a second card that we're going to make using some embossing paste. This stuff is super duper fabulous. But this One in a Melon stamp and die, absolutely. I just like this screams summer to me because it's like watermelon and it's fun. And so I wanted to pair it up with some really, and Alicia, yes, the stamp is on sale right now. So make sure you hit that link. Thank you, Han, for throwing that in there. And Han is behind the badge today. And she is going to be adding in those links of if you'd like to do a little shopping as we go along. So this is like my little pile of fun over here in the corner. We're going to get to all of this business, but we're going to start here first. So I love texture. Can you guys tell me in the chat, texture on your cards? Is this something, is it typically something that you do? Do you kind of stay away from? You're not really super sure how to put texture in. But I'm going to show you guys a couple of different ways. And I'm so glad you guys are here. And we have Karina, thank you for sharing this. And Jane, thank you for sharing this. And thank you. And Leslie, I really appreciate it. And hi, Sherry, to all of I'm so glad you're here today. I thank you guys so much for sharing this live while we're live, because you'll be entered to win a $15 gift card to Altenew. And pretty much that would give you this One in a Melon die set. So that's great. All right. So what I'm going to start with here is I'm going to start with this embossing folder. This is one of my favorites. It's called Daisy Tiles. And Daisy Tiles is just really beautiful. And you can see it could pair very well with the floral or on its own because it's very geometric. So it has all of these things. So I'm going to go ahead and I am going to start off with this. So I'm going to clear off my table so we're not looking at everything. And I'll pull everything in a little bit at a time. And I'm just going to start off with just a regular piece of paper. So we got the Daisy Tiles 3D. And hey, Liz. And yes, Sue, I hear you. You like texture, self-sticking gems or embossing folders. It's nice to have that little bit of thing. Hey, Nisa, it's so nice that you're here. And Melly, I'm so excited. And I agree, right? I just love texture. Sometimes it's really, really super nice to have that there. All right. So I wanted to add just a little bit of color to this embossing folder. And my favorite way to do that is just to go ahead direct onto the embossing folder. And my favorite inks to do that with are the mixed media inks. And I chose Buttercream and Warm Sunshine because of the fact that they are just this really beautiful soft yellow. And I wanted something that is like really summery. And so all I'm going to do is just take these. And I'm going to show you guys, you can either use either side of the embossing folder. It doesn't matter. I'm actually going to ink up both sides just so you can choose and make it. And I tend to do this because I'm like, sometimes I don't always know which way it's going to come out. So I'm going to do it both. So I'm just going to grab this and I'm just going to go direct. And I want to get a lot of ink on this, but I'm just going to go ahead direct with my buttercream. And so this is just going right on here. This washes off really easily with soap and water, so don't think that you've ruined your embossing folders. And I'm actually going to do it on this backside. And again, like I said, the only reason why I'm doing it on this backside is so we can make a decision. I'm here, I'm inking. I'm just going to do both sides, and then I can make a decision about which one I like better. So I do this. How many of you guys ink up your embossing folders? Oh, yeah, that's great, Karina. Oh, fabrics. Yes, fabric is a great way to get texture. Even just, the Altenew, what's that stuff? Oh, the stuff inside when you get your package. That one is really nice too. So I just want a little bit, buttercream is very, very soft. So I'm adding in the Warm Sunshine just to give it just a little bit of depth of color. So I'm just adding on, I'm just kind of swiping this on where I really was like going in with the buttercream. I'm just kind of swiping this on just to give it just a little bit more. I'll show you how I'm going to put my paper. And I just want to make sure that I have all of my space inked up. And again, I do both because I want a little bit of variety in my colors. And again, this comes off really well, but that's why these are really fabulous with these mixed media inks. I don't take these out enough. They're absolutely, oh, buttercream. Ooh, buttercream. Thank you, Sue. Buttercream is on sale. Get that. It is fabulous. Both of these colors are absolutely gorgeous. All right. I'm just going to grab my paper. I have my little mister, so I'm just going to spritz this just to get it a little bit so those fibers kind of loosen up. All right. Now I'm just going to take this and I'm just going to shove this right down. And I'm doing it sideways because I want to make sure that I get this whole panel covered. And I'm just going to come in and I'm going right down. All right, so he's going to stay there for a little while. Now, normally you run over to your machine. I'm obviously live. I'm trying to do everything in a 6 by 6 inch square. So I'm going to grab my machine, bring it on over, put it down. He's hanging out on the side. And I have a Platinum 6. So for me, what works, and each machine's going to be a little bit different, but according to this, I just shove this in, this goes in, and then I put the cutting plate on top, and then I roll it in. I always like to do like a couple of passes because I don't really trust it. So I just kind of go back and forth. Yeah, right, Sherry? I'm like, I got the ink. So why not just do both sides? And then I can make a decision. And you also realize, like, I'm not going to be using all of this sheet of paper. I'm going to cut this up into pieces. So maybe I want to use the other side for something else, for a different project. And so I have that available to me right now. All right, so I'm just going to, this is my little reveal. Ooh, love it. All right, so I just wanted to show both sides. So we have this side, which is really nice because it gets right into the nitty-gritty grooves And then we also have this side that has this really beautiful background where those white flowers are kind of popping up. So like I said, you can choose whichever side you want to use. That's why I ink up both ones. And I want to point out that buttercream and the warm sunshine together, it's very hard because my camera and yellow don't really work so fabulous together. But there is some subtle variations where there's regions where that warm sunshine kind of kicked in, but there's also regions where that buttercream is in there. But those two colors are absolutely gorgeous together. All right, so I'm going to just grab this and I'm going to just wipe this off. And again, I just have a dry cloth here, and this will come right up. And I can obviously attack this a little bit more with some soap and water if I want to return it to its normal state or its original state. So, and I appreciate all of you guys sharing this right now to sharing this live while we're live, because you will be entered to win a $15 gift card. All right, so now I'm not totally done. I'm going to do something else that's a little bit crazy. And the other embossing folder that I'm using today is something called hexagon blocks. Again, love this. I just want to show this. I just did a test sample. This is the white. This is the white on white. Just beautiful. Both sides are really, really super nice. And it's just really nice because it's that nice geometric. It's going to pair well with the gorgeous floral. And this is just a really fabulous embossing folder. All right. I'm going to get a little crazy with this. And what I am going to do is I'm going to ink this up with embossing ink. You knew that was coming out. You knew that one was coming out. I'm also going to add in, so Altenew, besides having some ridiculously gorgeous like metals like platinum and rose gold and antique gold, also has 3 embossing powders that are colored. These are the colors. They are beautiful. They are bright. They are super fabulous. And this is not raspberry. I apologize. I have to take that off. I haven't. This is razzleberry. Then we have fluorescent green and Caribbean sky. And these colors together are just really, really beautiful. And I've been reaching for them more and more. But what I'm going to do is, along with rose gold, which somehow did not make it on my desk when I prepped for this. Aha! Here we go. Along with rose gold, I'm going to, oh, and peach. Yes, Leslie, thank you. Oh, the peach is just gorgeous. I'm going to, Leslie, you just gave me an idea. I should not have read your thing. I want to do my watermelon in the peach. Ah. All right. Apologize, pulled it out. So also, with these, we're going to emboss with the embossing ink, and then I'm going to spread these around in order to create some graduation of color. So that's what we're doing with this one. Now, this time, I kind of know what I want to hit, and I want to hit the backgrounds, and so that is going to be this one. You also can do this side. This is actually what I did over here was with this side. And but it's a little hard for that ink to get into all of those little nooks and crannies. But you could really do either side. It really doesn't matter. I'm going to hit the side that has the name on it, and that's always going to be the background. So that's this one here. All right, so I'm going to take this, and I am going to just give this a really, really good smoosh all over this. And I just have my ink pad, and I'm going right to town on this embossing folder. Now, I'm not going to pre-treat my paper because I kind of want this mix of, embossing powders when I get to it, but that's what we're going to start. All right, so let me grab another piece. I want to grab a larger piece of paper. I'm going to treat it again with just a little bit of water just to get those fibers moving. Okay, and I'm just going to go ahead and put this right in here. And I'm going to smush that down, and I'm going to grab my machine again, which I just put on the floor. Give me a second. All right, and here he is. And I'm going to go ahead and run this right through. And I'll run this a couple of times. Let me know, do you guys kind of reach for different colored embossing powders? Is that something? Do you kind of stick with gold or platinum or silver? Or do you play around with your embossing powders? I like to color. I know it's kind of different, but I like to color with my embossing powders, kind of like I did with the watermelon over there. And I'll show you little techniques to get that done. All right. Oh my gosh, Nisa, thank you so much for sharing this. And you too, like Nisa, could be entered to win a $15 gift card to Altenew if you share this live while we're live and let us know where you shared it. All right, I just want to point out how gorgeous this is. And here is my side that has the embossing ink. Now, if this doesn't come out, I can always just take my embossing ink and kind of smoosh it over all the top of it. But this should come out. All right, so I'm just going to grab a random piece of paper, and I'm going to grab my little tweezers. Now, this really is about kind of how you want to do this. I want to do this in bands. So I'm actually going to start with the raspberry. Oh, gorgeous red. And I'm just going to take this, and I'm just going to kind of keep it in this band. So you can see I go right over the top of it. And it's just, oh my gosh. Yeah, storage is definitely an issue. I try not to have like, I have a lot. I have a lot, but I do love using them. It's one of those things. I just think that they're amazing. And I know it's, it's plastic and that's what we're doing, but oh my gosh, the effect you get is just really, really amazing. All right, so I'm going to add a little bit of a rose gold line here next. And I'm going to keep this a little bit smaller. So I'm literally just letting that powder just fall, and it's going to fall in a straight line because thanks to gravity, right? It's just going to fall. I don't have another force acting upon it, so it shouldn't move. It should fall right where I want it to fall. Okay, so that was rose gold. And now I'm going to come in with some fluorescent green. So I'm going to make a little band of fluorescent green. Yeah, Liz, definitely check out the other colors. It's a lot of fun to kind of try to branch out. And you can see I'm okay with these mixing together. Don't have a problem with that. And I'm just going to make that a little bit of a bigger band of this. These look like little Mercedes-Benz symbols. They're kind of cute. But this really helps to highlight, just like the inking did here, it really helps to highlight the texture inside of that embossing folder. Okay, and our next one is going to be the gold again. And I just wanted to separate these out a little bit and just add a little bit of extra shine, which is why I'm pulling in these gold pieces. And I love where it starts to mix together. I'm totally happy about that because that's the look I'm kind of going for. All right, so that's my rose gold. I'm going to put this to the side. Oh, hi, Barbara. You're new to watching. Welcome. This is a fabulous group, and we are here on Amy's Inspiration Station. And we are talking texture today. If you decide, or please, if you end up making a card or making a project with the ideas today, please share those in the Altenew fan group or hashtag Altenew, because we love to see what you guys make. That's kind of the most exciting part for us, is to see what the heck is out there. So I just want to point out right now, this thing looks crazy bright. It is beautiful. I'm going to go ahead and put this on. I got to get my heat tool warmed up. And I'm going to emboss this. And this is a big panel, This is a big panel. And Nancy, you have some weird colors. We got to get those out, Nancy. You are definitely not boring. But we got to get those out. And it's nice to have them because you bought them, you looked at them one time, and it's like, okay, I know I can do something with this. So you can like be like, hey, let's get it done and let's play around and see what the heck we got. All right. So I'm going to start to go with this. I'm going to start with the back. And this is a big, huge panel. My paper may warp, and that's okay. I can always just kind of stick it under some heavy books. That's usually what I do. And to get it go. But this is obviously a big panel, so this takes a second. And then now that I kind of had it starting to melt on the back side, then I just go right from the front. Sometimes I'll just emboss right from the back, especially if it's not as much powder as this, but this is a lot. Oh, the shine. And I know you can kind of, you guys can't see it yet. It's coming. It takes a little bit here. Ooh. Excuse me. All that plastic. All right, here we go. So now we get that green. The green is just, oh, so pretty. It's one of those ones because I think when I first read it, I'm like, fluorescent green, what the heck am I going to do with that? And now I actually use it quite a bit. It's one of the ones that I'm like, I never, ever thought I would be using this. But you can see all this gorgeous texture that's here. And it's just fun. All of these are like really, really fun summer colors. And that's why I like them too. All right, so I'm just double checking. I think I got everything. All right, I just want to take a moment. Oh my gosh, so pretty. Yes, Sherry, you definitely need to get the rose gold embossing powder. That will become your new friend. Yeah, and Sue, this is a time, like you probably have a couple of those like colors in the back of your drawer. Take them out, just kind of play with them, see what the heck you get. And so I'm going to show you what I'm going to do with this. Now, this, I wanted to put these together because this kind of tones this down. And I really am in like a diagonal or mood recently, but it's, so it's something that I'm going to put this on a diagonal. So that's what I'm going to do first. But I'm actually going to take this and I'm going to cut strips because this is just very overpowering and kind of crazy by itself. And I'm looking for a lot of texture. All right, let me just clean up my little mat here. I've got embossing powder everywhere. All right, so I'm just going to take this and I'm just going to start to create strips. So I'm just going to do them at 1/4 of an inch because that's the easiest thing for my machine for what I'm doing. And that's all I'm doing is just creating little strips. And this is nice because then I can take them and I can rearrange them however the heck I want to rearrange them. And I am cutting them the long way, but again, the pattern, all that texture, all that color, it's going to stay right there. And then we're going to put them onto a card. So, all right. How did I do? Anybody excited for getting out those embossing powders, colors that maybe you don't have or haven't done them in a while since 1995? Who's going to be, who's playing with me? Who's going to be getting out those colors and starting to see what they can do? So thanks, Joan. This is, thanks, Tina. This is a little crazy. And again, if you know my style, I'm usually a little bit more subdued, but I don't know, summer cards. I just wanted to kind of have fun and see what I could do. And I just was thinking about texture. How do you get textures and layers of things on a card? And I may not get to my second project today because this one was kind of involved with a lot of steps, but that's okay. I'll post it in the Altenew fan group. We'd love, again, to see what the heck you post. And please share this while we're live because you will be entered to win a $15 gift card. And we have Han behind the badge today. So thank you so much to the lovely Han. She will be hanging around after the live and she will let you know who that winner is. So thank you guys. Roller skate stamp set. Oh my gosh, Alicia, you got to pull that one out. That would be like ridiculously cool. Ridiculously cool. All right, so now I have my little strips. So you can see that, you know, they're fun. They're fun. They're just a little bit more subdued. Now I'm going to take these strips and I'm going to paste them on here, but I don't want to sit here and glue every single strip. So I am going to grab my fabulous, I just realized The packaging is stuck. Oh, this is the double-sided adhesive sheets. These are like what you need to have in, you just need to do it. This is just kind of a craft staple in my opinion. All right, looks like I need a new sheet. I always keep my remnants in here just in case if I need them or if I just need a little bit of something. But it looks like I'm reaching for a new sheet today. All right, so double-sided adhesive sheets are fabulous for this. And Nancy, yes, pull that salmon-colored one out. And if I'll be playing around with the peach. The peach is pretty close to that. Yes, Lisa Frank. Oh, yes, Karina. And retro sets. Yes, Liz. These would be fabulous with all of those kinds of things. And again, I'm just thinking like summer fun. Like it's just fabulous. All right. So what you saw me not doing, what you didn't see me do off screen is I just kind of take a corner and I just kind of work those edges to try to peel this up. And this is double-sided. So this is a piece of adhesive that has two of these backings on it. And sometimes I get a corner that works and sometimes I don't. And being the fact that I'm on a live, there's like a higher probability than normal that it's not going to work. So, all right. So this is all sticky. So I'm just going to bend this back and then I'm just going to take my paper and I'm just going to put this right in the corner as much as I can. Oops, and that was about as much as I got. Once it's down, folks. Once it's down, it is down. Now, I could come in with my trimmer, but I honestly just use a pair of scissors. And all I'm doing here is just freeing my piece of paper from the adhesive. So I'm just cutting what I'm using. Don't worry about, just so I can keep the rest and I can use it for whatever it is that I need to. And I just find it faster to use a pair of scissors than my trimmer. Okay, there we go. Now this piece that I have left, I'm just going to close this in. And I am just going to use this, put it right back in my package to use again. All right, so that means that this side is cardstock. There's no adhesive, but this side has the adhesive. So I'm going to start to pull this up on here. Yeah, Wendy, this is fabulous. I like to do this because it's really easy to do. And especially with the double-sided adhesive sheets, I don't have to sit there and glue and tape and like, oh my gosh, my glue's dry. This is ready to go. You do, however, have to commit because once this is in, it's in, man. That's all I'm saying for that. All right. So I'm going to just peel this back. So I have a third of it is still there. And then what I'm going to do is now I'm going to take my strips and I'm just going to grab one and I'm just looking for like, there we go. All I'm doing is just kind of like, hey, this is where I want it to go. And I'm just going to put this down. And then now I'm just going to keep going with this. What's going to happen is this part is going to make up the top part of my card. And I just want to double check. Yeah, that looks pretty good. I might do one more ahead of that one, but that looks pretty good. Keep this around because this is how I can touch this and like put everything down and make sure it's okay. Now I'm not going to put them back here. I'm actually going to alternate this and get that red to abut this. And I just put these right next to each other. And you can see that lovely texture. And you can kind of move this around if you don't want those greens to be right behind each other. Feel free. You can move this. So I'm just going to grab this. I'm going to put the blue on this side. And I'm actually going to push it down so the green's a little offset. I just didn't want this like big block of green in the middle. And you could vary the size of the strips that you make. You can totally do that. Yes, bending the release paper over is so key to do this. And then I take this release paper and I use that to make sure everything is adhered because it's going to come right off again, so it's not a problem. So keep that release paper around. All right, so you can see how we're starting to build here. So I'm just going to keep going. And I'm kind of trying to get this green to be a little bit jagged. I guess that's the best way to say it. So it's not like right. It's not going to make this big block of green. I'm trying to skew that a little bit, and I want to alter the blue and the pink. Yeah, Alicia, this is. I don't think I could do this without the sticky sheets. The sticky sheets are really the key element in this practice. And I think I may want to go above where I started, and that's okay too. I can do that. I have enough. And again, you have enough left over that you can use this on a different project if you want to. So you have this nice texture. So you can make a couple of backgrounds here and then just save these for when you want that little bit of extra texture going on. And then I love how that geometric pattern is mixed up too. So that's looking kind of cool as well. All right. And I'm just going to keep going until I fill. I'm going to come over here with this green. And now that I'm down here, I'm at this little kind of small section. I can kind of put, if I want to put in a little bit more blue, I can do that and put the green over on the side. I'm going to grab my little pink, put that here. And we'll cut that off in just a second. All right. I'm actually going to put one of my strips up here. I'm just going to build this up at the top just to put this on. Yeah, this is such, and this technique you can do with anything, but it's a really cool way. We could even have cut this up and gotten even extra texture. So just by kind of doing this and then adding in the strips, and we're putting it on the vertical. So you're just kind of adding all of these pieces to it. That's too much. So I'm going to go right here with it. Okay. All right. I think I'm going to end there. So that's looking good. I'm not even going to touch these strips. What I'm going to do is just come in with my scissors and I'm going to cut all this off. And then I'm going to reuse the pieces here for my little sections that I don't have anything in there yet. And then that way I can save these pieces if I want to use them as a border, whatever the heck I want to do. But I have those little pieces left over. And I will, there we go. Now I get sticky on here. Yeah, the green looks with the rose gold. The green, again, it's one of those colors that I'm like, I thought about it. I looked at it in the box and I'm like, that is crazy. And then I tried it and I was like, wow, I am pleasantly surprised at how gorgeous this is. And it does a lot of things that you just don't even think of, but it's right in there. It's so nice. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and stick these down and just cut off the rest of this. And then I'm going to go ahead and deal with this piece. So math's not my strong suit. So I do a lot of measure, and then cut. So you're going to see me do that in just a second. So remember, these pieces, they don't have any sticky on the back of them. So I'm just going to push those over to the side. But here I have this. This would be gorgeous on its own with a flower. It'd be gorgeous if we had done it where, you know, we had some, even just some ink blending, even just if you had a sentiment here. But look at how pretty, look at the texture and the color on there that you get. And I mean, it's kind of fun. It's just fun, I have to say. All right, so what I'm going to do here is I need to get this on, but I need to make sure that I have it at the right angle. So my paper's a little bit big, so I'm first going to cut this off. Oh, that's such a good idea, Sherry. I should have a pair for just sticky stuff, and I do not. I kind of use them all on that. Yeah, it's so nice. It's something, again, that you just don't really think about, but I hope you guys try this idea. All right, so I just cut this down, and it's just because the width was wrong, so my angle would have been off. And I'm just going to grab a pencil. And again, I am just, math's not, I know I could measure this out and I just don't really feel like it. Okay. All right, I think it's right there and right here. Okay, and we're just going to cut. Yeah, I know. I was thinking about it too, Liz, because I'm like, this could go, but that yellow, the soft yellow of that buttercream is just really, really nice. Okay, that was one. So all I'm doing is just trying to get that angle. And I think this angle hopefully will be right. And I can always come in. I have a nice big panel. So this should work. Let's hope. All right. And yay, it fits. All right, so I'm going to put this on, and then I'm just going to use my scissors to cut off the excess. That's all I'm doing here. So now I have a little piece here, but all I needed to do was just get that angle so these two abut. There we go. And again, you're like, whoa, there's a lot going on. But that was the whole goal of today, is that there's a lot going on, but that's what we're looking for, is a lot of texture. By the way, this is the stamp conditioning eraser. Also works as a really good eraser too. It totally takes away pencil marks. All right, so now I'm just going to come in and I'm just going to cut off the excess here. And I could do this on my machine, but I just put it back there. So I'm just going to use my pair of scissors to cut this off. There we go. All right, so now I have my little side. I just have a little bit of adhesive over here that I'll cut off a little bit later. Okay, so now what's next? Well, we have the seam, right? So we got to get those seam to kind of like, you know, mesh up a little bit. So that's what we're going to work on next, is the seam. So the seam is just plain white paper. And I did in rose gold the sentiment, "You're one in a melon." And then I actually did the melon. So we're going to work on this melon next and the sentiment. All right, so I'm going to grab my stamp wheel and my stamp. And I'm also going to die cut 2 melons. And the reason why I'm die cutting 2 melons is because I have a second card that I'd like to do, which I am not going to get done. But after this live, I'll complete it and then I'll post it. And all I'm looking for are just 2 melons. So I'm going to go ahead and just run these through my machine. Hold on one second. All right, so I'm just going to grab the Mini Blossom. Mini Blossom is perfect for things like this because it works so quickly and does an absolutely fabulous job for this. All right. I was looking for my scissors. Okay. All right, and we still have about 20 minutes, so let us know if you end up sharing this and where you share it to. So you can be entered to win a gift card to Altenew. And I am featuring today the One in a Melon stamp and die set. I don't know if anybody has this. This is a little bit of an oldie but a goodie, but or it's from 2021, I think. Yeah, 2021. Which doesn't seem like it should be old. Do you know what I mean? Even though that's 2 years, and a lot of things have happened since then, it doesn't seem like it should be, you know? All right, so I'm cutting 2. Like I said, I'm cutting 2 because I'm going to keep the second one for a different project. All right, so there's my 2 little guys. Yes, absolutely. Use that stamp conditioning eraser as a regular eraser. So then you don't even need to worry about it. You can just use both. I do actually use it a bit for that. Okay. All right. I'm going to use my negative space here. So I'm just grabbing my stamp wheel and just putting this right in. And this is actually one of the reasons why the stamp wheel is fabulous, is because it has this sticky mat, it can keep your die cuts in place. All right. So I'm going to grab the stamp. And the stamp here consists of 3 pieces. And what we have is we have the rind of the melon. We have the like fleshy part of the melon, the part you eat. And then we have little seeds. And I'm actually going to use embossing powder for these. So I'm going to go ahead and just drop in my rind. And I think that looks good. I'm not quite over this, so I'm doing my best from a side angle to get this in the right spot. And I think that looks pretty good. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and pick this up with my stamp wheel top. And I'm just finding the home button so I know which side I put it on. And there's that time when your stamp wheel mat is so sticky, it does not like to let go of the stamp. Like now. All right, we're going to do this a little bit different. Try it one more time, and then I'll use the die cut piece to help me. That's when you know that this thing works. It is super awesome. All right, I'm just going to put this in, and I'm going to do it this way and just line it up with the paper, because obviously this is not coming off for me right now. Okay, now I am going to treat this paper because I don't want the green and the red to mix. I do not want that to happen. So I'm just going to grab my little embossing bag and I'm just going to treat this. Okay, so I'm going to grab embossing ink and I'm going to go ahead and just put this right in. And of course the rind is green, so I'm going to use fluorescent green on this one. Oh, Cece, did you get your stamp wheel today? Oh, that's exciting. Oh, and Anne, that's a great idea. Conditioning eraser to get rid of excess adhesive. That is a good tip. All right, I'm just gonna, I don't think I got this side. All right, that looks good. All right, so now I had my handy dandy tweezers and I'm just gonna pick this up real quick. And I found if I go like right, there we go. Okay, so let me move that out, grab my piece of paper, and I'm just going to use the fluorescent green and just get this rind, and I'm just going to hit this rind real quick. And I'm just going to brush off those little extra green pieces just to make sure that they do not get in the way. Oh, here's my brush. And they're gone right here. This is a really good technique. I don't know if you've ever colored, if you will. I'm kind of putting that in air quotes with embossing powder. So, hi, Sue. Oh my goodness. I hope you're okay. Tornado warning in Somerset County, New Jersey. Wow. That is good to know. I appreciate that information for all of our other New Jersey friends. So, yes. And Sherry, you just got new inks. Yes. I know all the inks that are coming out are absolutely gorgeous. All right, so I'm going to hit this real quick with my embossing gun. And this is really fast because we don't have that, like, you know, an entire panel of embossing powder. So this heats up and melts really, really quickly. All right, so now we have this done. So now I'm going to go in again and go ahead and just put this right in there. So this goes back right in there. And now I'm going to grab the other stamp. So this is the Melon part. And I'm just going to put this right down. And yes, normally I would, it's been a little, my stamp wheel is a little sticky, which is fine. So I'm just going to put this on top of the paper and not worry about it. I realized I should have put it in the other place, but that's okay. That's fine. All right, so now I'm going to grab this. Okay, so my example has the raspberry, but I'm going to do this with a little bit of the peach. So thank you, Leslie, if you are still here. This was totally from you. Totally from you. And Sherry, have fun with those new inks. I have been loving all of the ink colors that have been coming out. We have so many fun products to color with, whether they're markers or dual tip pens or embossing powders. The possibilities here are just endless. And I'm so glad, Wendy. Yes, if you have any questions, please ask if you're not sure about how to use anything, because the biggest part is to make sure that you're having fun with what you have, because otherwise you won't use it, right? Okay, so now I'm going to grab this really carefully by the back, and I'm going to grab my little paper, and I think I'm going to try this. This may or may not work, but I'm going to try something, guys. I'm going to do a little ombre effect. Okay, let's get a little bit more peach on there. And a little bit more peach. Okay. Now, bear with me for a second. This may be nuts, but that's why you tuned in. I know. Okay, now I'm actually going to add a little bit of the raspberry embossing powder to the bottom and just kind of mix these two in. See how this goes. And I'm just like really, really careful with my pour here, but I'm okay that those are going to get mixed in because that's what I'm looking for, is a little bit of an ombre effect. And I just want to brush out that if there's any red that got onto my rind. Oh, I think I'm going to love this. All right. This was you, Leslie. This was your fault. Here we go. That golden peach, if you don't have that one, really, really pretty. Really, really pretty. No. All right, Leslie, are we ready? Here we go. I think I'm going to like this better. Oh my gosh. Could it be more beautiful? No, it could not. All right, here, let me show you guys what I see. All right, look at how cool. Look at how cool that is. So again, we get that little ombre look. We get that little rind. Oh my gosh, he's so adorable. Okay, so now the cool thing is I'm actually going to use my Altenew stamp block. This is probably one of the happiest purchases. I know. It's the little things, guys. It's the little things. And this is the Altenew stamp block. It's a little 2x3. It's a perfect little rectangle, and it comes in its own box. I mean, come on. What could make you happier? This. I'm actually going to grab these little seeds here, and I'm going to hand stamp these. And the reason why is because they come as a little grouping. Here, let me hit them with some black ink. They come as a little grouping. And what you need to do is you need to make a decision about how you want these seeds to be. And if you want them all lined up in the back, your best bet is to either just use this one and just go boom, 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 boom all the way around, or you can use the two seeds. And what I did is I stamped other side. So I'm going to use the two seeds. So I'm just going to wipe my black ink away. And since this is obsidian ink, this will stamp on here, but it's going to stay a little wet because what I'm going to do with this is I am actually going to hit this with some translucent embossing powder. And the translucent embossing powder is going to give it an extra little shine on this one. And the ombre, I thank you so much, Sherry. The ombre, so cool. Love it. And I'm just making sure, I'm just using my thumb to just make sure that that black is being removed from that little top guy up there. All right. And, okay. So you kind of saw I'm kind of going around. So I'm hitting it once, and then I'm just going in between these two because these two are very widespread. So I'm just going to go right in between the two of them. And that is how I get my seeds. All right, so you can see I have these little seeds. Now what I'm going to do, like I said, is I'm going to hit them with some translucent powder. Because this is obsidian, it stays wet just a little bit longer. And so you can actually emboss with it. And I don't know if you guys knew that or not. Oh, yes. Oh, the rose gold ink is beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. All right, so this is the translucent powder. This you probably, honestly, you probably won't be able to see the difference, but it's just going to give this little shimmer shine to your little thing. And again, that's texture. I think of shine as texture. Okay, so I'm just going to hit this, and then I think I just got to do my sentiment, and then we are ready to go. How are we doing? Yeah, I kind of thought this was going to take me one round. All right, I'll try to push this in the light, but I think I might. You guys are just going to have to trust me. You're going to have to trust me. But look at my little watermelon. He's so cute. He's so cute. All right, so there's my little watermelon, my little ombre watermelon. And then what I'm going to do now is I'm going to emboss and stamp my sentiment. So I'm going to use the Your Melon, Your One in a Melon. But I need to make sure that I have like the right angle on this. So I'm going to do my whole like measure twice, cut once kind of a thing. All right, so I think I'm just going here with it. All right, I wanted to hit this so it's a little bit more on one side. That one I did there was a little bit in both sides. A little bit more in the middle, and I wanted it to be on one side. All right, I am going to treat this because I don't want that rose gold to go every which way. So I'm just going to treat this a little bit. And I'm going to stamp with this with my embossing ink. And then we're going to assemble this card, and then I want to show you some other ways to add texture as we go along. All right, here we go. Hey, Avril, I hope you're doing well. Oh, Kathy, thank you so much for sharing this to Facebook. And we have just a couple of minutes. Share this live while we're live. Han is behind the badge today. Thank you so much for being here with us, Han. And she will be staying on after our live session, and she will announce the winner to our $15 gift card, where you could pick up one of these fabulous embossing powders, where you could grab the Once in a Melon stamp and die set, which is absolutely adorable and just perfect for summer. I'm excited for summer. So here we go. All right. Last little bit here. And I was worried about that. All right, so it looks like I probably needed to go one more round with my embossing ink, but that's okay. I will do this and we'll worry about that later. Okay. All right, so I have this ready to go, and now I am going to go ahead and put this away. And now we're going. All right. So I hope this inspired you today to pull out some of those different embossing powders. Take another look at your embossing folders. Use those inks, use those powders in some different ways. Really, really great to do. All right, so again, I'm just kind of looking for this to be, I think I can do that. I think I'm on the right track. All right, so I'm just going to cut this and hope for the best. All right, that should work. Oh, beautiful. Okay, so here's my One in a Melon. So I'm just going to use some Instant Dimension foam tape. This is another great way to add texture because I'm putting layers on. So, oh, it was at Sherry W's idea about the peach color to do the cantaloupe. Oh, Sherry, yes. No, I did not, but thank you, Leslie. I appreciate that. Sherry, it was a fabulous idea. I love it. I absolutely love it. I think it's fabulous. Didn't even think about it, but I love it. All right, so I'm just going to go ahead and stick this guy on. And you can see that by having that little space, it just gives it a little bit of a break from all of that texture because we have this plain white piece in there. So it's just going to give it a little texture. It's nice in there. It's easy to do. And then here is our little melon. So I can put him on, but I'm going to add just a little bit more to zhuzh him up. And what I like to do is just add a little bit of thread. So the thread set, and you may have this, you may not, but the thread set's great. It comes as 3 different colors threads. There's an enchanted gold, which is the one that I'm using. There's an antique gold. And then there's this like purple silver one, which is really fabulous. And I'm just going to take a little bit of that Instant Dimension foam tape. And this is just going to be the holder for my thread. So I'm just going to peel this off. And then I'm just going to start looping my thread. I put the end of my thread down. And then I'm just going to start looping. And you can make the loops small. You can make the loops big. I kind of do little figure 8s. And I am trying to make this as neatly messy as I possibly can. But by having that little piece of foam tape, every time I loop, I just kind of stick it with the foam. So it's right here. So it looks like this on a map, on the back. And it's kind of a little bit of a mess. But that's what we want. We're kind of looking for controlled chaos here. All right, this guy goes here. And just do a little bit more. And I'm just looping. And you can kind of make this move a little bit because it's on the Instant Dimension foam tape, which is sticky, but it's not like a super, super dupery sticky. And then once I'm actually going to go ahead and adhere this, what I'm going to do is use some liquid adhesive. All right, so I think I'm good. All right, that looks sufficiently like a little bit of a mess. Now I'm going to give it a tail, and then I'm going to take the tail and I'm going to wrap it in with this mess that I have in the back. And then I'm just going to grab a little bit of liquid glue and just put that right here. And then I'm going to go ahead and stick this guy on. All right. And so you can put it this way. I'm going to do it as a little bit of a diagonal. And again, it just gives it that little bit more of texture to put that out on here. Oh, yes. No, Wendy, you need, I wish, unfortunately, it's across the room right now, or else I'd get it and show you. It's gorgeous. It's purple silver. It is really pretty. It's like a lavender. It's just gorgeous. It's a lavender. Now, I wanted to, because I love these little things, I just grabbed this. This is the Pocket Full of Sunshine enamel dots. And I just grabbed these little tiny enamel dots. And I'm just going to give a little bit more. You could put sequins in here for a little extra shine. I kind of wanted the yellow on yellow because I thought those were cute. And I'm just going to do a couple here. I don't need to go overboard, but just by having these little pieces of sunshine that are on here, just to kind of highlight the middle of these little flowers. And I don't have to do them all. I'm not going to do those 2 that are kind of cut off up there, but I'm going to do these. And then I think this should be mounted onto like a blue card base or a green. I think that would be super pretty. Yes, you could, Nisa. That's a great idea that you can color the silver thread with markers or ink pads so you can make it any color on that one. All right, so we are right at 4:30. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Again, we're talking texture. And so you can just take a look at this card and just see all of the great texture that we got here. And we got this texture using, we have embossing folders that we inked up using that warm sunshine and the buttercream. We have our embossing folder that we used the embossing ink, and we use different embossing colors. You know, this little triumvirate here, the 3 colors, gorgeous. And even added in that rose gold. And then thank you to Sherry for that idea of the peach and a little bit of the razzleberry for our little mini delight once in a melon. So just absolutely beautiful and absolutely gorgeous on that one. So I love that you love the textures. This is fun, totally outside of my element. But I just wanted to say thank you so much for going on this little journey with me as we looked at some fun summer cards. And that's really what it is. So thank you guys so much. Thank you. Huge, huge, huge thank you to Han, who was behind the badge today. And I hope you guys have a lovely day. And please, please, please share your projects with #Altenew because we love to see what you make. And thank you so much for taking a little bit of time outside of your day to take care of yourself and for allowing Altenew to craft your life. All right, everybody. I hope that you have a fabulous day. I hope you get a chance to make something today, to be creative or crafty in whichever way you want. And I will see you later. Bye, everybody.